simple present. So we saw in the previous video the verb to be. Now we're going to talk about the other verbs. In English, when we conjugate the verbs in the simple present tense, we don't see any changes except when it comes to the third person singular, which is he, she, or it. He for boys and men, this is masculine. She for girls and women, this is feminine. And it for objects and even animals sometimes. What is the change that occurs? We add an S to the third person singular. Like this is the rule you need to bear in mind. He, she, it plus verb plus S. A second rule, the verbs that end in a consonant plus Y, the Y changes into I and we add ES. The third rule, when we have verbs ending in CH, SH, S or O, even X, we add ES and not only S to facilitate the pronunciation. The following examples are going to be of great help. I, you, we, they, no problem. We don't see any changes. Eat a lot. The verb eat. I eat a lot. You eat a lot. They eat a lot. When it comes to he, she, it, we have to pay close attention. He eats a lot. She eats a lot. This cat eats a lot. All right? The second rule, cry. Do we have a consonant plus Y? We do. R plus Y. So when it comes to he, she, or it, which is the third person singular, we change Y into I and we add ES. He cries. The baby cries a lot. She cries. IES when it comes to the spelling. Now, SH, fish. There is the animal, the fish, and there is the action of fishing, the verb to fish. I, you, we, and they fish. No changes. He fishes. So we add an E to help us pronounce correctly. It's impossible to say he fishes. He fishes. Fishes. ES. All right? Another verb. Go. O. I, you, we, they go early. He goes. She goes. It goes. ES. Okay? Even the verb to do. She does her homework. He does his job very well. ES. Now, we learned how to form and how to conjugate the verbs in the simple present. How are we going to form the negatives and the questions? We need the auxiliary verb do. We add the auxiliary to the sentence. For example, I know the answer. The negative form. I don't know the answer. Don't. Think of it. Do plus not. Because the auxiliary verb takes the role of the verb. Don't. Do not, don't. But in the third person singular, we're going to use does instead of don't. Because we conjugate the auxiliary and not the verb. The verb is going to be in the infinitive form. Does not. For example, I know the answer. I don't know the answer. Do you know the answer? He doesn't know the answer. Yes, you do. No, you don't. Yes, she does. No, she doesn't. The questions, the same thing. We start with the auxiliary. Do goes with I, you, we, and they. Do you speak English? Do you have time? Do you want to come? Do they live in Kenitra? Do. The third person singular, does she? Does she have time? Does she have a brother? Does he work here? Okay? He works here. The question, does he work here? Where's the S? The S went to the auxiliary. And because we have a word that ends in O, we need to add ES. Look at the examples. He works hard. He doesn't work hard. Does? Not. Doesn't. Does he work hard? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. So note, this is a very important thing. Does or doesn't plus the verb in its infinitive form, bare form. She reads novels. She doesn't read novel. We cannot conjugate two verbs, and we have almost the same rule in French. Does she read a lot? And we can say yes, she does, or no, she doesn't. I repeat and I recapitulate. Do, don't, I, we, you, they. Does, doesn't, he, she, it. Examples. Where do you work? My sister doesn't understand me. We love speaking English. Love. We can't see any changes, yet it's conjugated in the present simple. Do you have the keys? Does your uncle live here? Your uncle. He. Does he? We want to buy a bigger house. We don't see any changes, but it's the present simple conjugated. How much does it cost? The price. They don't realize where the problem is. They don't know. They don't realize. They don't have. I remember all her explanation, and I really hope you remember all my explanation.